Good morning, my sunshine. I hope that you have been having a fantastic day so far. We have a new legendary to hatch, and our horror dragon's actually been waiting a couple of days in our hatchery here for me to hatch him, so I guess we'll do it now. And by hatching this guy, we'll also unlock another new dragon as part of the yearly collection. So the horror dragon here is a legendary shadow and void dragon, so I guess he could have some use on a team, although I don't like his combo his combo of elements that much, but he's not awful. So late at night, your candle goes out, plunging you and your book of spooky stories into total darkness. You feel a clawed hand on your shoulder. It's the horror dragon, asking you for a bedtime story. I can just imagine it. He's this like creepy, crawly looking guy that freaks everyone out, but really he just likes to cuddle. I can see it. So this is the final dragon as part of the Film Genres of Summer collection. So for hatching him, that means that we have unlocked the grand prize dragon, who is literally just a dragon made of solid gold from the looks of it. I guess his horn and the spikes on his head are like silver or something, but very interesting looking dragon overall. Did I just spend gems on something? I certainly didn't mean to. What? I don't know. Either way, that is a new dragon. We got our horror, which does mean that we get some bonus DCP. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the baby version of this horror dragon does actually scare me quite a lot. Its eye is way too big. I can't imagine why it needs an eye that large to be able to see. If anything, it would probably just completely throw him off balance because he'd be seeing too much. You know, it's like how some animals are designed to have their eyes so that they can see ahead, like predators, and then for prey, they generally have eyes where they can see a larger, I guess, looking zone. Don't remember what the word is, but that's generally how it works. And now this boy, in his adult form, does have smaller eyes than in his baby form, but he has this cool little symbol on his shoulder as well. Not too bad. I could definitely see someone trying to cosplay that. Anyway, that is the horror dragon, and will I be breeding any more of them? Possibly, because you know what, all things considered, considering how easy it is to breed the horror dragon, like, because we've got, like, what is that, a 5% chance of breeding horror dragon every single time you go for it with the elemental plus metal combo, that means that if you can breed lots and lots and lots of them in the month, then you'll get lots of Dragon Master Pass points. So if you're going to go for Fairy Dust, the gems, and you want to get all the way to 10,000 points, if you don't really have much else to breed, it's actually not a bad idea to just, go over here, rebreed, try and get a horror. If you get it, you do. If you don't, you don't. And, at the moment, I don't really have anything to breed. I've got all of the dragons in my limited category. I guess we do have the Noir breeding blitz, but I also already have a Noir dragon, and the chance to breed Noir from orange and water is lower than it is to try and breed for duplicate horror dragons, so really it's just better to go with the duplicate horror dragons. So yeah, I guess that's the thing. So apart from that, we will also be finishing off the sigil map next time because we've only got 2 fights left. I do not believe I've actually lost a fight yet still, so far the sigil map's actually not going too bad, because I know that when we were going into this new sigil map, we were like, yeah, with all these enemies that are gonna have epic sigils, this may get a little bit tough, but so far for me, it has not gotten any more difficult than it was at the end of the last campaign map, honestly. But I think that is because we do have a synergy going, and by that I mean basically just Wonder plus Acceptance and plus Purity on our Autumn Dragon. Because that does seem to be the key strategy for a lot of people that aren't really struggling on the Sigil campaign map. They're just people that are using the Acceptance Wonder combo, or they're just using Purity combos, or a mixture of both. And people that I've seen doing that have not really been struggling. Now, people that have tried to be more creative with the sigils and use the sigils that aren't necessarily just blatantly overpowered, yeah, they've been struggling a lot. Like, if you've got people that, say, don't have high-grade Wonder or don't have high-grade Purity and they're forced to use things like Witchcraft, it's not going as well for them. Now, Witchcraft, when paired with Acceptance, or when it's paired with a couple of other sigils, it's really not too bad, but it does depend on your team and your dragons and how it's all made up. But, you know, I think, if anything, sigils have just proven that the age-old formula in DML of just do a lot of damage before your opponents hit you tends to almost always work. Because obviously, in like the dungeon, having a super defensive dragon that can heal and a dragon that can shield and wind to stop them from doing damage can help a lot. But sometimes in the sigil campaign, the enemies, depending on the combos that they have of sigils, they will just one-shot you. And it's the same in the arena, especially when you're doing hard fights against, you know, right now players that have double rares on. Sometimes they will just one-shot one of your dragons, and the idea is you either have to win the fight with just 2 dragons, or you're gonna have to hope that they just miss on the first attack. So, you know, I do feel like they just need to balance sigils correctly, because I don't think the issue with sigils is the concept. Because a lot of people are just saying, you know, remove sigils forever, they're completely bad in every possible conceivable way. And I don't think that's actually fair, because I don't think making the game very slightly more complicated in terms of its combat is a bad thing. Because the combat in DML did get very dreary at times. It was the same thing, it had been the same thing for 5 years. It was just attack with plant or shadow, or attack with ancient, everything dies. And again, it was mainly people using a high attack composition that were having a super easy time. Because like if you had a super aggressive dragon, like say, I'm just going to use my example because it's what I did with the Autumn Dragon, he would just one-shot everything in hard arena if he went first. Especially with the old clan dragon powers where you could have the power that increased their damage. But yeah, in general, if they just made it slightly more balanced and, you know, made it so that commons weren't restricted to only common sigils, I don't see a reason why you couldn't just allow all dragons up to, say, epic to just use epic sigils and then just restrict the legendary sigils to legendaries or above. Really, I don't see why you couldn't, because it just means that commons are gonna suck forever now. But oh well, I guess we're just used to that in this game by now, making the commons worse and worse and worse, making low-level players worse and worse and worse compared to people that have been playing for ages. I don't like it, but, you know, I guess for now we'll hold out hope that they're going to make some changes, because I've been seeing things on the forums, like, posts saying that they're looking into the issues, and, you know, I don't know for certain if that's true. I guess we'll see in the next few months if they make any other changes and try and fix the things that people have been complaining about. You know what, I'm just going to do this dungeon stuff later, but, we'll see. Plus, can we just boost the dungeon drop rates a little bit? I swear it's been so many times of like me grinding this dungeon, I very, very rarely get anything of value out of it. Even though I almost always get to the purple chest and clear that a couple of times, but we usually just don't get the dragon and we barely get any event currency. It's just kind of boring. And by kinda I mean completely and utterly boring and draining. Anyway, I think that is gonna do us for now. Let's finish off this clan quest, because might as well do some of them. I will do the enchantment quests later, because sometimes I just can't be bothered to do everything all at once. And we'll collect our food for now, but, you know, good luck with all of your breeding. I do hope that if you're going for 5 million horror dragons, that you can get them in time and finish off that Dragon Master Pass nice and quick. But, you know, in general, I'm looking forward to seeing changes to the sigils, if they happen. I don't think that they should be removed. So, let's try and be a little bit, I guess, civil about trying to discuss them, because otherwise we're just never going to get anything that changes anything in the game. And again, personally, I don't think the issue is the sigils themselves. I get that the changing, like the fact that to equip sigils and fuse sigils costing trinkets is stupid, that shouldn't exist. And the fact that it's going to take forever to get above rare sigils is going to take, years to get legendary. That's also stupid and shouldn't happen, but I don't think having these things that boost power is a bad thing. I do think the amount of max HP that sigils give, however, is way overtuned. Maybe I'll put together a whole list of things that are just blatantly wrong with these one day, but oh well. You know, for now, best of luck. I do hope that I see you again soon, and I wonder what other new dragons we'll be getting soon. Bye for now, thank you for joining me, and until next time, I do hope that I can see you there.